Welcome back to Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA. Today's episode powered by Hayabusa. It's all about firing out of the shell, how to do it properly and effectively. All right, in today's episode, we're talking about a very important concept, especially when it comes to boxing and kickboxing, and that's called firing out of the shell. Now, we always talk about Dutch kickboxing and the style of a Dutch kickboxer. And what does that mean? It usually means someone who comes with a high guard. You know, I call it high guard. Some people will call it a helmet. I recently did commentary with Antonio Plazabot. He calls it double-decker guard. So different language for hands connected to the head and that pressure style fighting. Now, in kickboxing, you'll notice a lot of times this head position, right? So we're head to head here, we're in close range. And a lot of fighting happens here. In MMA and Muay Thai and all the other different sports, it might not be as valuable because from this range, we can clinch in here, right? But in kickboxing, with the limited amount of clinching, the shell becomes very important. Or even sometimes if there's two boxers who really don't want to clinch, or even in MMA, a lot of times, you'll see this position where one person might be attacking you, right? And you're shelled up. But there's a difference between shelling up and hiding or firing out of the shell, and how to fire out of the shell effectively is what the video is, right? I have videos all over the internet saying never get shelled up. Right, that's right, because that's a terrible position for you to be in. If Matt's pounding on me here and I just staying here and my eyes are closed and I'm starting to turn, my head's open, my body's open, my legs, Matt can create angles. And so many times we see it in all combat sports. One guy just shelled up here. But the danger is coming out of here. Now we've seen the opposite, where the person firing out of that shell position gets a big knockout because the person attacking forgets that, hey, they can still throw, and they thought they had him beat up and damaged. So I'm going to talk about some of the mistakes that's going to happen when someone starts kind of trying to shell you up. So first things first, I can't be stationary with my guard, especially if there's a volume puncher and he starts attacking. If I just keep my hands pinned, I'm blinding myself, okay? So that's the first thing in this head-to-head shell position is I can't be here. I got to use a little bit more dynamic style of defense. So this is where I start lifting my wedges, maybe trying to move my head a little bit, trying to kind of stay away from the heavy pounding shots, because even when Matt's trying to pound my head, he might still be able to knock me out with my hands glued to my head. That contact could still really hurt you. So first things first, if Matt starts throwing here, you start seeing here, I start being a little bit more interactive here where I can pressure and I could move, okay? That's number one, more dynamic with my elbows, my head movement, my feinting, and trying to set up the counter to be able to come back. Okay, so looking to counter. This is why when you see me talk about this lead wedge, it's very important, because if I keep this elbow in and Matt's pounding me here, it's difficult for me to have that space to open up. So this is why when I feel here, I'll lift this here a little bit to load my backside so I'm able to attack with my rear side. I don't want to stay square because I can't counter out. Look, there's no power here. But if I use this wedge, I load up my rear side while protecting my head, and then I could power out with my kicks, my knees. You got to think, even if I'm shelled up, look, with this wedge position, I might come here, boom, cover my head, throw a power knee, or I can cover my head and kick. I can cover my head and just throw my big overhand. I have options to fire out of the shell, but I can't be square and shelled, okay? So dynamic elbows, moving my head a little bit, looking for those opportunities to counter. Loaded power side, very important. Okay, now the next big mistake of firing out of the shell, and this one is the most important of all, okay? What happens a lot of times is when we get head-to-head, we're nice and tight, right? All of a sudden, after I throw my combination, the habit is to get tall like this, okay? Now, if they counter in that position, this is where it happens a lot. Even watching some of my old fights recently, I had a bad habit of doing that, and that's where I really had to improve it as I got more experience, okay? Especially when I signed with Glory, I couldn't get in there because of the big power punches and the aggressiveness of the boxers in kickboxing. I had to be careful of hitting and then coming upstairs with my chin, okay? And the opposite is true as well. If Matt's punching me and I have a shell, and then all of a sudden it's my turn to hit, I bring my hands down and I hit, and Matt goes again. That's how you get caught firing out of the shell. So one of the best ways to practice this is practicing as a combo back and forth. Now, I like to do it with a simple combination. I like, because it's head to head, it's a close range, the hook, uppercut, hook. It's a very good combination. Now, the challenge here is we want to stay connected here. So when I throw my hook, uppercut, hook, Matt's going to fire right back out. Hook, uppercut, hook. And we're going to create this little rhythm with each other, okay? Where we're dynamically moving our defense and we're able to counter, okay, at the same time. So we're just working this different little block and fire out type of combinations, okay? So the big habit again is if I'm here, right, hook, uppercut, hook, I'm not coming back here to come up because Matt's going here. Then from here, I don't want to be in this tall position. So firing out of the shell. I'll give you a nice little recap of what you learned today. You have to be able to be dynamic. If I stay glued with my elbows down and square and shelled up, I'm not going to be able to counter out. My opponent's going to be able to level change, create angles, and put the damage on me, okay? So I bring a dynamic defense. Matt throws his hook, uppercut, hook. Look, I bring my dynamic. He throws it. See, I'm moving. I might even throw a pull counter here to come back in, but keeping my hands tight. Okay, part two, whether I'm attacking or defending, I have to be able to stay in my shell and fire from my shell. So from this shell position, I stay here. I keep my base low, I keep my hands up, I keep my chin down, and I keep firing right away. I need to stop avoiding coming from here and then lifting my chin while I throw or before I throw. Stay low, Matt goes again. Look, as I block, I'm not coming up. I'm staying low, my chin down, and then right away, here, 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 here. Nice low base, okay? Once you get comfortable in being that understanding of I gotta stay low, chin down, hands up, not lifting up my chin, this is when you can start getting more dynamic. You might now play any combination back and forth. I like to play in threes. It can be 3 and 3, 3 and 3. So quick example here. We don't know what combinations are coming now. It could be a level change, but it's building this confidence, right? I might go hook, boom, and then Matt comes back, right? Staying low, right? We're staying low, trying not to lift our head, and we are fighting from the shell. Okay, very important concept, especially as we get more experience. So really sit and think about what you learned in today's episode and try to apply it to your drilling, then to your sparring. All right, hope you enjoyed today's episode. Make sure you like and subscribe to Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA, and make sure you support the channel by supporting our sponsors. First, we have Hayabusa by going to Hayabusa Fight, all linked in the description below. We have Perfect Sports Nutrition. Bazooka 20 gets you 20% off of them. Last but not least, bazookatraining.com, online curriculum and teaching taught by myself. And you get brand new videos every single Monday. And they're diversified. We have home workouts, bag workouts, some pad work, sparring drills. We have something for everybody. And it's less than $10 a month for you to get access to this, all right? Plus, over about 500 videos now, so you can watch a video, 2 videos every single day and almost learn at home, all right? Learn, subscribe, and share. We'll see you next time here at Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA. Welcome to Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA online training. I'm Bazooka Joe Valtellini, the owner here at Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA. Over the past year, I've designed and created a website to teach Bazooka curriculum at home and across the world. The purpose of this website is for you to, 1, hit your fitness and health goals, all while learning world-class martial arts instruction from me. The beautiful thing about this website, it's geared for all levels. So if you're learning martial arts for the first time as a beginner, we help you progress into the bigger stages. And if you're a pro fighter, guess what? We have different fight concepts for you to improve your tool set and your skills in the ring or cage. As the fastest rising kickboxing world champion and a lifelong martial artist with over 30 years of experience, I've been able to combine my passion for martial arts and teaching to create this website. This website's gonna give you some of the tricks, secrets, and inside look at some of the training I use to win my world title. Once you subscribe to this site, you're gonna be getting weekly training videos and tutorials that you can do from anywhere. The sections are broken up into 3 parts. The first is bag workout. So if you have a bag at home or at your gym, you can use these workouts to supplement your training. The second is at-home workouts. A lot of us don't have the room for a bag or a bag in general, so these workouts are for no equipment needed and you can do them anywhere. And finally, the tutorial section. If you're having any problems with a specific technique or fight concept that's covered in any of the workouts, go to the tutorial section, learn the technique, and then go back to the workout, and this time, do it with proper technique. One of the added benefits once you subscribe is the forums section, where you can get a more personalized experience where you can ask questions and I'll be able to go in there and answer them. It's all about building a team and a community of martial artists helping each other grow. So subscribe now to get access to all the videos plus more so you can be part of the squad here at Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA.